It's typical of the way the world works that this has come in under the radar because, of course, the really important things that really change things in the world always happen like that, as you know.
Yeah.
They don't happen in a telegraphed, long lead time way. What happens is something comes along which people just weren't expecting,
Yeah.
and it will change the genuine dynamics of how it works. And for that reason, I think certainly, presuming that the time frame is met, and let's be clear, setting up an exchange like this from scratch is a technical exercise, and they've got really good people doing it as well.
Yeah.
So there may be a delay of a couple of weeks or a month or so here and there, but
Yeah.
by the end of this year we should be fully up and running, and there's going to be an 8 a.m. Beijing fix, a real gold fix
Based on this rolling spot.
Yes,
contract.
and so 6 Chinese banks are going to come together to create a fix against the real gold price.
And clear gold against themselves at this Chinese fix in Kunming. Right. Is that where it's going to take place as well?
Absolutely.
Now, you're a fund manager for one of Britain's larger fund groups, Chief Yet Asset Management. So obviously you're going to have access to that market. And other institutional players will have access to that market. What about retail people? Will they have access to that market? If you're dealing with a broker in the United States, or if you're dealing with a broker here in Europe or in London, are you going to also have access to that exchange?
In short, yes. And the reason why I can say that with a reasonable degree of certainty is that I'm already helping I won't say who it is, but one of the largest brokerage firms in the world to plug in with Page. Because, of course, ultimately, James, something like this is about supply and demand, isn't it? If the demand is there, the brokerage firms want in because they can see the flow and they can see how the dynamics are changing.
Yeah.
And certainly, assuming the demand is there, they're going to set up arrangements with the exchange. There's a clear demand for real gold in size that's not being met in a satisfactory way. So yes, in due course, as a retail investor, if you have if you plug it in,
global account,
that you will be able to access it in that way. I'm helping them to get in contact. I mean, the one thing about this exchange is I don't think they were probably quite as aware of how excited we would be by this. Of course, they're just going about it themselves, and they've tasked a Taiwanese company to be the international sort of facing part of the exchange, certainly initially, and to try and roll out the business and get people interested on an international basis. That's how I got involved. They asked me to sort of consult on it.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, everybody I speak to wants in. So, in my opinion, what will happen is we'll see an initial interest, and I actually do think it will spiral quite quickly, because given the choice, reverse Gresham's law, are you going to want to hang on to the dubious contract, or are you going to say, actually, no, I'm not going to worry about that?
You're going to go for quality.
Well, so you're an LBMA owner, so you own unallocated gold in the LBMA system, which means that you are one of 90-something% of global gold owners, because, of course, in terms of scale, that's how big that market is. And we know that Mr. Christian said, didn't he, that it was 100 to 1.
At the CFTC hearing a year ago, Mark.
That's right. So let's take
paper versus physical.
Let's take it at his word and say it's 100 to 1, or 1 to 100, depending on which way you want to put it.
Yeah.
Given the choice between sticking with that system, where you have a partial backing and unsecured creditor status, and being fully backed, I don't think it'll take long for people to want to move across in scale.
Yeah, understood. They use the acronym PAGE, Pan Asian Gold Exchange. Is that the website, or is there some way that people can get information about what's happening, or is it not yet
Yes, I
generally?
have to tell you, it's a little scratchy, and this is kind of what I meant, which is that's the part of it which they probably haven't been as savvy about as they might have been.
Using the internet to get information out there about how the exchange
there is
going to
an
operate.
English translation on their website, but let's just say it's not written by an English teacher.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just in a slightly privileged position because I'm speaking to people actually doing it. And so I'm corroborating all the important points with them. And they seem to be very, very aware of all the key problems with the way that gold is traded at the moment. I mean, a good example is the fact that if you buy a bar, or you buy gold through this new exchange, if you want to lease or swap it, you can do what you like, but you lose title. And of course, this is a key component of the price discovery mechanism at the moment, is that leasing and swapping apparently can happen with multiple owners within the chain, whereas the Chinese won't allow that. If you lease it, but you don't hang on to the title, it gets passed on. And I just think it will serve to tighten up the market in a way which we've all been waiting for a long time.
Well, I'll be looking forward to developments on Pan Asian Gold Exchange. And Ned, thank you for taking the time out to share your thoughts with us about it.
Not at all,
Sounds like
James.
an important development.
Not at all.
Thank you.
Good stuff.